Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. This is User Level Security Part 2, a follow-up to, guess what? User Level Security Part 1, where I showed you how to create user level security with usernames and passwords and logons and all that good stuff. Now that we have that all set up, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to control which forms and reports specific users can open in your database. This is, of course, a developer level video. That means you need some VBA. And of course, it goes without saying that you really need to watch part 1 first. So if you haven't, go do that. You'll find a link down below. All right, before we get started, there's one little thing that I want to mention. Let me open up the database. Now, when you open up the database, you get your little logon thingy right here, and that's all great and fine and dandy. But you, the admin, if you're doing some design work on your master copy, right, your ACCDB copy, you might want to bypass the logon form because it's a little bit annoying to run into it every single time. And how do we bypass the logon form? Well, we bypass the startup by holding down the Shift key when we open up our database. And there we go. It bypasses all the startup stuff. Now, can you prevent your users from doing that? Yeah, you can. It's pretty advanced, though. And that's one of the techniques that I teach in my security seminar, which, again, we'll talk more about that at the end of the video. But again, your average user isn't going to know that trick unless they know Access. All right? The problem is, now, if I open up my main menu, I get this, invalid use of null. Why is that? Let's debug it. And, oh, main menu, label.caption equals tempvar username. I never assigned a tempvar's username because the logon form never ran. All right, so we'll stop that. There's a couple of different ways you can fix that. You can assign a default here, or you can just exit the database and force the user to log on. But I'll just assume if at this point the database is running and they don't have a username, I'll just assume it's me as the admin logging on. And I can just say if is null tempvar's username. Again, I can't type today. Right? Then we'll just assign it some value. Tempvar's username, come on, equals nobody. Or Jean-Luc, or whatever you want to put in there. And what did I miss? Oh, missing a parenthesis there. Okay. All right, at least now I'll be logged on as nobody. Okay? And if you close the database now, and open it back up again, and bypass it this time. Ready? Hold the Shift key down. And now at least I'm logged on as nobody, and I don't get an error message. All right, but again, that'll be just for you. Your users, you want to force them to log on. You as the developer, you might not want to always log on to get in here and do something quick. Now, at this point, we're going to assume our users are logged on, which means they've got an account in this table. So how do we keep users from going in certain places? Well, certain things, your customer list, your customer forms, you might want to let anybody in there. Maybe you've got a specific special accounting form that you only want, Joe and Bill from accounting are the only two that are going to be able to go into there. There's two ways you can control who can do what. You can either control it in the buttons that open those things, those forms or reports, or you can put code in the object itself, like in the forms on open event. I'll show you both ways. Let's pretend it's the customer list we want to control, this guy. All right, right-click, build event. And I'm going to close the Project Explorer. All right, so right here's the command that opens up the customer list. All you got to do right here is just check to see who's logged on. Right? If tempvar's username equals Joe or whoever else. Let me just copy this. I don't want to keep typing it in. All right, or tempvar's username equals Bill, or whoever else is allowed, right? Then do the thing, right? Else, message box, access denied. And if. It's that simple. Check to see who's logged on. If it's not Joe or Bill, bye-bye. Save it. And let's close this, reopen it, and try to go in. Access denied. I'm not Joe and Bill. I'm nobody. Right? And you could make it, master user, admin, whatever you want to do it. And again, in my security seminar, I actually show you how to set up groups. If you have lots of employees, 20, 30 employees, might want to put people into groups. So instead of saying if username is Joe, you could say if group is not users or accounting or whatever, then you could do it that way. It's a little more complicated, but it's just another table and putting users into groups with permissions and stuff like that. It's not super hard. All right, now let's see the other method. Let's do it from inside the form itself. So I'll get rid of all this stuff. Okay, so we're going to open up the customer list, and we're going to control what happens in the customer list form itself. All right, so let's open it up, and then right-click, Design View. We're going to go to the onOpen event. There's onLoad, and there's onOpen, and they're very similar. The difference is onOpen can be canceled, whereas onLoad cannot. All right. So in here, it's basically the same thing. It's just you got to just kind of change the logic a little bit, right? You're going to say if, where's my thing? If tempvar's username is not Joe and tempvar's username is not Bill, then cancel equals true, and then message box access denied. End if. And yes, I know cancel is an integer, it's expecting a number, but true is -1. All this really cares about is 0 or not 0, and cancel equals true sounds a lot better than cancel equals 1 or -1 or whatever. I just use true and false there, and it always works. Now, this is going to throw one more little problem. I'll show you how to deal with that in a second. Save it. All right, we'll close that. Close it. Close it. Open it. All right, access denied because I'm nobody. I'm not Bill or Joe. One more little minor thing you got to do. Hit OK. It's going to say open form was canceled. Debug it. All right, this guy got canceled because we canceled it in the form. So just put an on error resume next on top of that one. And yes, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Don't listen to people that say you should never use on error resume next. In a simple situation like that, there's nothing wrong with it. I was reading an article by someone written a couple years ago, and like they're like, you should never use on error resume next. It's awful programming. It's not awful programming. Shut up. It's fine. If you got a simple little one-line event like that and you want to just cancel it if there's an error, don't worry. Don't listen to those people. I've often found that people who are more like academics and have just like worked with Access in the classroom and all that, and they have not like built databases in the real world, they have some weird concepts of what's okay and what's not. So I've been building database for 30 years. I know what I'm talking about. Now I sound like get off my lawn. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's the two ways you can control who can do what. You can put it in the button. I personally prefer the button approach myself because I have buttons on all my menu forms that control who can do what. Okay? And it's just a matter of putting the control in the buttons. You can create functions for like accounting people or, like I said, groups and stuff like that. I covered that in my security seminar. And of course, once again, I'll give the disclaimer that this tutorial shows you security that is good enough to keep most users out of your database. However, an experienced Access developer will be able to get around this stuff. That's why I recommend my Access security seminar, which will teach you as good as possible for you to lock down your database. That's what I show in the security seminar. All right. No software application is 100% bulletproof, and Access is, you know, at best 99.9% bulletproof, but I show you how to make it as bulletproof as it can possibly be. This plus SQL Server is a really, really good secure solution. Okay. All right. So that's it for part 2. In part 3, I'm going to show you how to have it so that users can only view and edit records they themselves created. So for example, each user can have their own list of customers in the customer table, and they can only see and edit their own customers. Okay, that's coming up in part 3. But that's your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page, that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.